Yeah. Hi, I'm Kelly.
And hi, I'm Geoff.
And this is Blueprints for Belonging, where we're exploring how to build conscious connection in a disconnected world.
Because belonging doesn't happen by accident.
Mm-hmm.
It happens by design.
Hey, Geoff.
Hey, Kelly.
We're back. Blueprints for Belonging. Woohoo!
Yeah.
We got some good stuff today.
Yeah, today we're continuing our series, The Pace of Connection. Slowing down in a speed-driven world. Yeah, tell me about it.
Oh, yeah. Everything's about speed, but not the drug speed.
No.
No.
It's about time.
It's about time speed, right? In our last episode, we talked about reaction speed culture. That's where that pressure to respond quickly lives.
Mm-hmm.
And today we're stepping into what happens on the other side of that. That's that space, the pause, and the silence. I just wanted to make that one in there.
Yeah, nice and quiet.
Nice and quiet, right. Because you're waiting for it.
Yeah, and I think that this one hits differently because it's not about what someone says, it's about what they don't say, at least not right away.
Exactly. For a lot of people, that silence doesn't feel neutral. Mm-hmm. In some ways, it's really loaded. Just waiting, like you did, in the beginning, we were just talking, and they're like, Kelly, are you going to say that?
Right. And I'm looking at her, and it's like, I'm going to just go ahead and say it.
I know. Right.
Yeah, like something must be wrong.
Yeah.
That's when they didn't respond.
Respond. I know. Well, anyway, so that's right. So this is kind of what we're exploring today. We're exploring what we're calling silence anxiety.
Mm-hmm.
What silence anxiety is: a delayed response that can trigger our own insecurity. Mm-hmm. And it's just really interesting how quickly our mind begins to fill in the blanks.
Yeah.
And
that story machine.
Oh my goodness, my story machine.
Yeah.
Yes. I've got a song that I've written about the story machine.
Oh, it's a great song.
It's a good song.
Too.
We'll put it in the
put it in the description.
In the description, so you can find it.
Very cool. Yeah, so what is silence anxiety?
Well, it's that emotional discomfort or distress that kind of arises when communication is paused or that response is delayed, the kind that's, you emailed somebody and they haven't responded, not in 10 minutes, in like 2 hours or or a day or 2 days. They're like, did I say something wrong? Or are they
Right. Are they upset with what I wrote?
Or you've called someone and they haven't returned a call to you, or you've texted someone. So anyway.
Right, and they leave you hanging for hours.
Right.
But they're not necessarily intending to leave you hanging.
No.
But that's just it.
They got something else to do.
We don't know what their story is.
Right. And this is why this matters, because when we put that context that this silence means something, or we write a story about it, like they don't care about me, or they hate me, or they don't want to do it.
They're upset with me. I screwed up. I said something awful. Whoopsie.
But but silence is in itself is just neutral. We're the one that's assigning the meaning to it.
Yeah, the meaning we assign to it creates emotional reaction.
Yeah.
Because all the stories we tell ourselves creates emotional reaction.
Yeah. And so this is where our awareness comes to kind of why we're talking about it, is because we want to bring it forth to help other people understand that this is how, in some ways, we get disconnected in our relationships very quickly. They might not have ever gotten the email. That's a
Right.
possibility.
Right.
Or the phone call was deleted accidentally, or the text message didn't go through.
Right. Yeah. I mean, humans are meaning-making beings.
Yep.
That's what we are.
Our brain generates
Our brain
a story.
will kick in where there is nothing to fill it.
Well, that's about survival.
Mm-hmm.
And we have to do that because if we don't, we might not make it.
Mm-hmm.
But in this context, we're just waiting for somebody to reply in a text message or email.
It's not critical.
It's not critical. This is where, in part of what we're asking or kind of sharing and why we're doing this is to help you kind of be aware of, to kind of slow this down and just ask for more information.
Right.
I'm just curious, did you get my last text?
Uh-huh.
Or I'm just curious, are you able to come to this party or whatever it is that I emailed you about?
Right, right. Yeah, because the brain uses past patterns to predict present meaning.
Yep.
And so, well, that happened before, so that must be the case now, which is
Not at all.
pretty much never going to be true.
Right.
Because there's one thing that is true, and that's change.
Well, so part of why we're also bringing this up is because we're wanting people to be aware of disconnection.
Mm-hmm.
And how we get disconnected. Like your phone might be off right now.
Mm-hmm.
I'm hoping it is.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so it's off right now so that we can work on our podcast. Yet if I have it on, then I'm worried about who might call or,
Interrupt the recording.
Right, I'm still in a place of disconnection with that. So disconnection happens all the time, and we just want to give you some awareness to how these disconnect us in our relationships more than what we think they do, because we're going to even have more of these types of conversations about other things that kind of get us disconnected.
Mm-hmm.
So
Right. So why silence feels so charged? We are human. We are meaning-making beings, and we do that.
mm-hmm.
We create stories no matter what.
Well, think about this.
So it's about recognizing when you do.
Right. So think about this. Before there was all of this ways to connect, how did we connect?
Right. Well, we met up.
Uh-huh.
We would call each other.
Well, that's when we got the phone call, or we had telephones.
Right. Well, yeah.
Yeah.
So I grew up in a world of telephones.
Telephones. Like
yeah.
there were people that grew up without telephones. Period.
Right.
So they had to send, a writer or a message via mail or a
Right.
carrier.
Morse code.
Yes. Doot, 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 doot.
I mean, yeah.
Pigeon mail, right.
Yeah, pigeon mail. Wow.
Yeah.
Um,
So anyway, so in some ways, they didn't have as much of in the past history, they didn't have as much of the silence meant rejection.
well, right, because you expected silence, you
Right.
know.
And so
it's
nowadays,
gonna take time for them to
right.
respond.
The reason why I'm sharing this is because
Right.
our ways that we communicate is faster.
Right.
And so this is kind of why this is coming up. So
Constant access to communication has reduced tolerance for waiting.
yes.
Yeah, because we
absolutely.
expect it now.
Right. And
Yeah.
so silence kind of feels abnormal rather than neutral. I mean, it's shifted how we connect with each other, right?
Right, yeah. It's no longer neutral. It's they're ignoring me, you know.
And if I mattered, then they would have responded. We put
Right.
some way that ties that, right?
Yeah. Well, yeah. If I matter if I'm responded to.
Right.
Or
It becomes part of your self-worth. If they
yeah,
don't care about me.
They don't
right.
care about me if they don't respond to me.
Yeah.
Wow, it can just go so ugly so quickly. Response time should not be tied to self-worth
No.
because it means nothing.
Well, that's on our end as we're waiting for something to be responded back.
Well,
right.
right. The piece of advice here is relax. Don't do it.
It's a strong uphill battle with yourself.
Yes.
Yes.
Oh, absolutely
Yeah.
it is. Yeah. Well, okay.
Yeah.
Story time.
I know. Okay, tell me. So we're putting in here's the story machine.
Right, here's the story machine. But this is actually a true story.
Okay, good.
So I used to get so bent out of shape when I'd be texting with my bestie, and she would just disappear for a while. I just didn't understand it. She didn't respond to my last response. What's going on? And I would, or even worse. So there was a friend who I hadn't talked to in a while. I sent her a text. She didn't respond. So then I waited like 2 days, no response. So then I go to Messenger, and I message her there. No response. Well, fuck, I don't know how else to get a hold of her. And then I went through a mutual friend of ours, and asked about her if she was okay. Turned out she was fine. She was just really busy. And then she reached out to me via phone call. And I was like, okay, I'm so glad you're fine. But I had worked myself up into a tizzy over it. And that kind of stress is not healthy for us. Even if it's all, even if you're not putting on anybody else, you are enduring all the stress yourself, it will make an early grave for you. Disease basically comes from stress. So
I would say all of the diseases come from stress.
Yep. So think about it before you go crazy over it. Yeah, that's the story. So.
Well, good. So I want to kind of go in a different direction. As a logotherapist, kind of helping look at Viktor Frankl, he kind of talked a little bit about the will to meaning. Like we're trying to find, that's our primary drive and our primary source of purpose. Like we're trying to find meaning in stuff. And
constantly.
We're constantly. So we're trying to make meaning of this silence. Does that make sense?
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, just like you make meaning of people's words that they send you.
Right.
You make meaning of the silence when they're not speaking to you.
When they're not speaking.
Or when they're not responding to you within your own time frame.
Well,
because, of course, they're not inside your head. They don't
right.
know what you expect or where that expectation came from.
Right. So we're not just making meaning every once in a while.
Oh, no.
We're making it all the time. We're
we don't
constantly
even notice how we're doing
correct. Right. Okay. Good. I wanted to make sure that was there. Because this is, we're sharing a little bit about, kind of the story machine. Like for you, what started with that, making that up? What was the message you think you got to yourself? She doesn't care. She.
Oh yeah, I thought that actually it's even more convoluted than that. Yeah, so I had this little story in my head going that the person who heads the group that I'm no longer friends with had gotten to her.
Ah, okay. Conspiracy.
And convinced her not to talk to me.
Yeah.
And I'm just like, that bitch, I'm just making all sorts of stuff up. And of course, none of that happened.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, our brain likes to fill that gap with the stories.
With runaway stories.
With runaway stories, yeah.
Oh, it's crazy.
I'm sure that everybody's had an experience of this. So here's the little bit of a pause in that moment, is when you are recognizing that you're telling yourself that story. Kind of recognizing the story machine is going off. And...
right, that this may or may not actually be true.
Right, and really be aware of it. So there's some emotional and behavioral impact that goes along with those stories. So we get this anxiety, or we have some insecurity,
sense of urgency.
Yeah, so we are trying to make sense of something that we're not going to, like over texting somebody, like
right,
oh my gosh.
Right. Hello.
Or question mark. Yeah.
Where are you? I'm sorry, I'm in a meeting. Yeah. Oh, whoopsie.
And then, sometimes when we receive that, for that, our story goes off too. That, oh my gosh, they're just, what do you think your friend might have thought with your story? What do you think her story machine might have gone off with? Can't-
Jeffrey's crazy.
See, okay.
Yeah.
Everybody has something. All right. So then we're either over-explaining or over-texting, or the other thing we do is we withdraw. Like, I'm just not going to talk to him anymore.
Right.
And I would say there's a lot of cultural stuff like that that's going on right now. Mm-hmm. They're just withdrawing, like they withdraw even from.
Cut you out of their life.
They cut you out of their life. That way, I don't have to deal with you. I don't have to deal with anybody.
Right. Just my bubble.
Right.
Yay,
Yeah.
my bubble.
Yeah. Well, anyway, so that's part of the kind of how it hits the emotional and behavioral part.
Right.
And then kind of there's some relational consequences that kind of go along with that. So we might have these short-term miscommunications that are happening that might escalate into
minor issues, which are really non-issues.
Right, but it might escalate into another one because I start keeping track of you didn't do this time and you didn't do this time so then I start keeping track of all of those times you've gone silent.
Gone silent on me.
Yeah.
It happens way too often. Right. You should really respond to your texts better.
Right.
Yeah.
And so then there happens to build this mistrust in these relationships. Mm-hmm. So then I start to maybe over-explain or over-connect, or I start to try another type of a strategy to try to deal with the misunderstanding or the miscommunication. Mm-hmm. In some ways, it would be a good place to put a pause in that moment and say, I think there's some misunderstanding. I think there might be some, I'm wondering if we could talk about it or kind of share a little bit more, share what was, I know what's going on for you. Okay. Sometimes that happens.
Really? How do you know?
Well, sometimes I'm just sharing that sometimes that happens. And you can, thanks for sharing with me about that. I appreciate it. Tell me more.
Right. Tell me more about what's going on
for you. Correct. Because I want to hear maybe what's going on for you that you thought this urgency that I wasn't responding to. Tell me more. Well, it was about picking up apples, and we needed those apples. I'm just making up stuff. So.
Right. Wow. Well, you feel very strongly about this, don't you?
Apples, right.
Go to the store yourself and get them.
No, don't do that. Don't say it that way. That is how not to say it.
Yeah.
You're going to stay in a place
inner
of
child in me coming out.
You want to stay in a place of compassion. So you want to say that makes sense that you'd really like to have the apples, and you need the apples when you want them, and you want to be able to. You wanted me to pick up apples when I was at the store.
Right.
And it makes sense that you'd want me to see my text. I certainly get why you sent that to me. Anyway, so that would just be an example. And then another component of that is, in some ways, we have a little bit of what I call emotional exhaustion. This happens all the time. Oh, my God, can't believe you're doing this again. You know, I don't want to deal with this.
Right, I'm so tired of you.
Right. Right. And then that kind of leads kind of into some mistrust. I'm not going to tell you anything, so I pull back and I don't tell you anything.
Right.
Or I don't share anything about
withdrawing.
Yep.
Yeah. Or attachment strain.
Yeah.
What exactly is that?
So when a person is in a relationship and in some ways, I have I'm connected to you, yet I might be overly dependent upon you, and in some ways, I feel like I can't trust you or take to support me, so I pull back. So attachment strain is this difficulty of staying connected with that person. Okay. I'm not trying to be. I'm not offering up, or this would be, I would say, in a let's see, would that be friendships? I guess you could.
Well, there might be some friendships that
pull that back. I pull back. I don't have. I mean, like you have a good friend, and y'all are all like buds and all that, and then something happens, and then they go silent, and then you don't know where they are or what's happening, and your story machine goes off, and then I just say, I'm not gonna be connected to them that much
Right,
anymore.
right. If they
So
want to pull
back.
that stuff, then no
Right.
thanks.
Right.
Yeah.
So we begin to react to these imagined meanings that we're making, rather than getting the factual details of what that interaction might be like.
Right.
So
well,
tell
what
me
actually
more.
happened.
Right. So tell me more about what happened, or tell me a little bit more information.
Right. I'm curious. Did you get that text?
Mm-hmm.
You know, just check in with people.
Mm-hmm.
And don't assume that they know what you're thinking, because they don't. What is in our heads is private.
Can you tell me what I'm thinking?
Right? No.
Oh, you really
I'm
can't?
sorry, baby. No. Yeah, you're showing me something, but I'm not gonna repeat it here. Although this show is not for kids, I'm not worried about that.
I was not being very nice. That's right.
Mm-hmm.
Well, anyway, so how do we stay connected when we get disconnected?
Right, through a big framework integration.
Mm-hmm.
BIG, y'all.
Mm-hmm. Build awareness.
Yep.
Investigate meaning and generate choice. So the first one is build awareness.
Right. We notice emotional response to silence.
And we just kind of investigate it.
Are you angry? Are you upset? Are you frustrated?
Mm-hmm.
You know?
Are you hurt or harmed?
Right.
Mm-hmm. I want to get clarity.
Right.
Haven't heard from you.
Right. And then you investigate the meaning.
You start with what the story is that's going off in your head.
Right.
What does this silence mean to me?
Mm-hmm.
I'm curious, if you didn't respond, does it mean, am I making it up that you don't care for me? Or, I know that like parents, like if you don't hear from, before we had cell phones, we had to check in with parents, but we had to make a phone call, and I can't imagine, nowadays not having our cell phones. I mean, it's so easy to go back to having just the standard house phone. I mean,
it's so easy. It's not easy at all. Where do you even get one of those?
Standard house phone?
Yeah.
No, you don't.
I'm about to say no. It's
not. I mean,
difficult.
what I meant to say was it wasn't easy back then, but now it's easy now to connect.
Oh,
and yet,
yeah. We have so many different ways.
So many ways to connect, right?
But so many of them are flawed in the way they actually communicate.
So tell me more.
Well, that's like text and email. Mm-hmm. It's in writing.
Mm-hmm. So you don't really get the tone.
There's no inflection. There's no tone. There's no nothing.
Fine.
Right. And what people tend to do, and I've been guilty of this, and I know people who've been guilty of this, they read that text with your snarkiest, sarcastic tone of voice. And I'm like, but that's not what I wrote.
I have never been snarky to you.
Oh, no.
Okay.
And that
in your
happen with yeah,
okay.
yeah. But that's just it. So people I know would hear
your snarky.
My own voice, saying that text out loud with a tone that I did not intend. And there's just no way to fix that.
I'll have to remember and see if I can bring that one up and see what it does. Because I kind of want to see if that happens. Anyway. So G is choice. And, how can I tolerate this pause without acting on the story?
Right.
Is how do I stay connected to myself? And I do have a choice here. I can reach back out and say, I know I've contacted you 50 times already.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I just want to make sure you're alive.
You can just ignore all those other messages.
Don't forget all the other ones, right? But anyway, so trying to find a way that you can care for yourself and having this choice about, because you can get clarity is what you're looking for. If you haven't heard from somebody, you're wanting to get clarity about what's happening. Mm-hmm. And using curiosity in that.
Curiosity will keep you open to anything could have happened.
Right. and
Yeah.
not be in a place of, because if you use the word you,
Yeah.
you're probably going to be disconnected pretty quickly. So I'm curious, how has it been?
Uh-huh.
So anyway,
So let's talk about some practical applications. So, number 1, you got to name that story.
that's right.
So you hear it going off in your head, name it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And this is why I created the story machine, because I wanted my clients to be able to be aware of the story machine that's going off in our head, and to kind of give it. I had this friend of mine one time who shared with me about how she named her ego.
Her inner critic.
Her inner critic, yeah, inner critic. And I was like, man, that's really nice to have that name, because now it's not me.
It's not an amorphous thing. It's a specific thing.
It's a specific thing. And it was really helpful. So that's why I like the story machine, because the story machine is a way to kind of understand, oh, I'm in my story machine. They're probably in their story machine too.
Mm-hmm.
And kind of seeing how we're all disconnected. How do we make that conscious choice to connect?
Right.
And then I'm going to give you a little preview of what our next episode's going to be about.
Already? Well,
No.
Let's wait to the end.
Okay, I'll wait till the end.
Yeah,
A little
yeah.
tease there.
So, because we're going through the practical application, right? And we don't want to flim-flam anybody.
Okay.
So, why does finding out this is what I'm telling myself right now helps separate interpretation from reality? Because you can say what you're telling yourself, this may or may not be true because I don't know the facts.
Mm-hmm.
And it helps to think about it. And you go, oh yeah, I'm telling myself this. Okay, may or may not be true.
Mm-hmm.
So expand the possible explanations.
Right. They might be busy
Overwhelmed.
or just not available.
Right. And that creates cognitive flexibility.
Mm-hmm.
So
I'm
okay,
okay.
I can be cool with that.
I can be cool with that.
Yeah,
Yep.
I'm not in pain. All right. And then the third component is to practice tolerance for the pause.
What could I do?
Right.
What could I do? You could doodle.
Yeah, you could doodle, you could paint, you could
Write a story.
create something. I don't know, anything.
Make food.
You could do chores in the house, because it may be a while. They may be a few hours.
So why is this important, this pause?
Well, because it builds emotional regulation. And emotional regulation is what allows you as an individual to not explode
Or react.
with reaction.
Right. It allows you to respond.
Right. It gives you that, because the pause is what gives you a second to go, wait a minute. Okay, this is what I'm feeling, but this is how I actually want to respond in this situation, because this is much better than my reaction. Because I know my reactions, boy, they can be loud. So emotional regulation is really where it's at.
Right. So connecting or communicating directly when you need or when it's needed.
Right. Hey, just checking in when you have a moment.
So that kind of removes that assumption to some clarity.
Yeah. It moves from assumption to clarity, because you're trying to get that clarity from them directly. Yeah. Hey, what a concept. They can't read your mind.
I know. Darn.
I know. That would be so much easier.
That would be
but
scary, too.
Yes, it would
Maybe.
be very scary.
We would not want the people to...
Don't wish for everything you don't want.
Right.
So that brings us to our awareness practice.
Right.
Yay. Notice when silence triggers a reaction.
Woohoo. Because they're going
That's
to be...
all you got to do.
You're going to have at least 10 to 15 of them a day.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. It's going to happen a lot.
It's going to happen a lot. Yeah. And probably, even though you're aware of it, it will still happen.
Right. And when it does happen, just ask yourself, what do I actually know? And what am I adding?
And the reason why we're calling this an awareness practice, because it is a practice. If you want to learn how to do something, you have to practice doing it. if you're not
Right.
practicing doing it. Now, here's the other thing about the practice is kind of thanking them in your mind for allowing you to have that practice.
Thinking who in your mind?
Whoever is silent to you.
Oh, right. Because they're giving you this
Staying
time to
in a place of
practice.
gratitude about the silence. Yes.
I love that.
Yeah. Well, anyway.
Yes. Staying in gratitude.
Mm-hmm.
So this one feels really real because it's not just about communication. It's about what happens inside us when nothing is happening outside. So
Yep.
in between the communications.
Yeah. And that's such an important distinction, because
Mm-hmm.
silence doesn't create anxiety.
Mm-hmm.
The meaning we assign to it is where the silence comes from,
Right.
right?
Yeah. And most of the time, we don't even realize we're assigning meaning. No.
Mm-mm. No. This
Have
feels
no idea
like
the meaning
truth.
maker's going on.
This feels like truth, yeah.
Yeah.
So this week we just notice, and when there's a pause, kind of checking in with what story is showing up. So,
Right. And instead of reacting to it right away, maybe just sit with it for a moment.
like this, we're just sitting with it,
Yeah.
just for a moment.
Just for a moment.
You don't have to change it. You just notice it.
Right.
So,
Next episode, we're talking about something that sounds harmless, but might be one of the biggest disruptors of connection.
and that's the one I wanted to talk about, multitasking.
Mm-hmm.
It is going to be a good one.
Or what we'll call it, being there, but not really there.
Oh, you know it. Like you're on your phone.
Uh-huh.
You're not there.
You're not there. You're not paying attention. You just picked up to see what your notification said.
Yep.
Yep.
Or I'm scrolling.
Yep.
Yep.
So tune in next week for multitasking.
Woohoo!
Woohoo! Thanks, y'all.
Bye. Thanks for listening to Blueprints for Belonging. If you enjoyed this episode, be sure to follow. Leave a 5-star rating for us and share it with a friend.
You can find us on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, or wherever you like to listen. Your support helps us keep building conscious connection in this disconnected world.